I am trying to figure out an order of operations for what I need to do. I need to take a shower. I know that. I just finished my workout. I need to take a shower. I need to install this splash guard. Install. That might be too fancy a word for sticking something to the bathtub with double-sided tape. But I need to do that. I need to take a shower first because I won't be able to use the shower for the rest of the day while the glue sets. And I need to trim my hair, and I should do that before I shower. So I think that means I need to trim my hair first. Okay. Let me get my hair shirt on. Be right back. Last time I cut my hair, I followed a Brad Mondo tutorial. Perfectly good tutorial. I wound up with a pretty decent haircut in spite of the fact that I was the one cutting it, but it was a little bit complicated. I found another tutorial from this guy called the 1 Minute Barber, and his is like very straightforward. Just one guard for the whole thing. So I'm going to try following that this time and see if it comes out a little bit cleaner. Mostly all I want to do is like thin out this bit up here because it's still really dense. So let's see what happens. I'm not sure if I made it better or worse. I did something, so now I'm gonna clean up and take a shower. So I definitely made it worse. So one of the reasons that I shaved my head to begin with was because I had a bald spot right here, like in the center on the top of my head. And I knew as it started to grow out that I would have all these little short pieces right here on the top of my head and it would look really funny. So I decided to just shave my head. Not the first time I've shaved my head. I'm used to it. I don't regret shaving my head at all. I do always forget how annoying the grow out process is. But where that bald spot was, I didn't really take into account that just because I shaved my head, all of that hair was going to start growing back at the same time, and it didn't. So all of this kind of on the side here is really long. And then on the top or in the front here, it's also really long. But right here, and I don't know if you can see that, that's all still really short. So I have this weird kind of divot in my hair. And when I feel it, I can feel that like it's still kind of thin right there. So I've spent the past couple of hours trying not to panic. I did panic order a couple of wigs from Amazon. And I have a job interview the day after tomorrow. I can kind of fluff my hair and kind of hide it. I could leave it exactly like it is wear wigs and just let it grow out. Or I could take the clippers and try to trim it down so that everything is basically as short as these pieces right here. I'm not quite sure yet what I want to do. I'm kind of leaning towards trimming it all down. I think what I'm going to do right now is put this splash guard up, because then I won't be able to take a shower and that will hinder my impulsivity. So let's do that. I spent about 15 minutes struggling with this thing until I was so frustrated that even the poorly translated instructions could not make me laugh. So I gave up and went to take a nap. Unfortunately, after contemplating all of my life choices that led me to this particular conundrum, the intrusive thoughts won, and I buzzed all my hair off. Again. Good morning. It's a couple days later, as you probably could guess. I'm sitting in the parking lot waiting to go into my job interview, but I am ridiculously early because I have the type of ADHD that makes me stupid early for everything because I have too much anxiety about being late. I still have not heard back from the virtual interview that I had last week, and I'm assuming that means it's a no. They're not going to ask me to do a second interview. But I'm kind of glad about that because there were a couple red flags. First of all, this was like a really short 15-minute virtual interview. They were late, which that in and of itself is not a big deal. But then in the interview, they were giving me some extra details about the job that were not in the job description online. And these are like really important things, right? Like, you're going to have to work holidays and weekends on a rotating schedule. You're going to have to work at the jail, which I don't mind, but the way they phrased it was like, you're gonna have to rotate some of your time actually at the jail. Are you okay with that? And I'm thinking, if it's that important, like, because I'm sure some people would be uncomfortable working at the jail. Y'all probably should have put that in the job description, right? And then at the end of the interview, they told me they would let me know either way, whether I was gonna be asked back for a second interview or if it was gonna be a no. And then I would probably hear back by the end of the next day. Well, it's been a week. Actually, it's been over a week now, and I haven't heard anything. So, all those things together, kind of a couple of red flags, makes me think I don't want this job after all. So, even if they do come back and ask to do a second interview, it's going to be a thanks but no thanks. 90 degrees, and it's not even 10 a.m. That's just rude. Yeah, I think we're going to have to keep the buzz cut for the rest of the summer. I think that's the plan. Maybe I'll start wearing wigs. I think that would be fun. As much as I want to change my hairstyle, I think wigs are the way to go. Although wigs are kind of expensive. Even synthetic wigs. If a good synthetic wig, you know, a couple $100. That's not nothing, so I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, I guess that's all I have for now. Thanks for hanging out with me for whatever this was. I had fun. I hope you had fun. I'll see you on the next one, I guess. Bye!